Well, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is a Sunday Stuff and Things. You find me in the same park as Butt Rock Beach. But the actual Butt Rock is submerged underwater as we speak. I've been catching this place at the wrong time. The tide has been very high recently, so I have not been able to sit on the Butt Rock, which is my butt actually thanks me for, because it's not very comfortable. Today we have many things to talk about, stuff and things. Where are my notes? Oh, here they are. Including upcoming videos, things you can look forward to on Stuff and Things and working. I'm going to be giving you an update, well, including things like Cringle Flake 2024, the listening party for Is This It, Good Made Better products, all sorts of good stuff on working. The main topic of today is kind of a tease, but I want to talk to you about the process I've been going through to get you more information on the entire STG Mac Baren Sutliff situation. There has been movement on that. I have gotten some very interesting information. You might even say bombshell information. And I want to tell you the process I've been going through, give you an update on that. And then of course, we will have your questions, comments, and feedback in hashtag askstuffandthings. So let's get into it. All right, gang, so what can you look forward to on Stuff and Things and working? Well, the order of these videos might change because of what we're going to be talking about later when I talk about the whole STG Sutliff thing. Right now, I have the Good Made Better products. That will be this Wednesday, maybe. Just bear in mind that all of this might change depending on what happens with this other video I'm trying to make about STG, Sutliff, and Mac Baren. But as of now, Good Made Better products, the Bookwarden, the Penwell, really cool products. Cringle Flake, I always say Cringle Cake. Cringle Flake 2024 coming up after that. A listening party for The Strokes' Is This It? A seminal, amazing, very, very influential album that I absolutely love. Then I just recorded a first impressions video for Cornell and Diehl small batch 8-state Burley. A very interesting blend. They've produced versions of this most years. I don't know when they first started. I don't know if it was 2020, 2021. This is the 2022 version, and each version has been slightly different. This one has 2014 Burleys, I think white Burleys as well, 2005 Orientals, and that includes some really interesting varietals of Orientals, including Catarini, and then 2019 Bright Virginias, 2018 Red Virginias. So really interesting blend. It also has some casings, maybe some cocoa, molasses, different flavors added on here. So it was one that I was really interested in trying. I've recorded the first impressions video. That will be coming up soon as well. And then working, we have working episode 41 is out now. It was a day late. Pretty much because I forgot to make it live on the Friday that it was supposed to come out, but it came out on the Saturday after. So definitely check that video out if you haven't watched it yet. It's one, we've been waiting for months to start this really big job where we're going to be working on 12 foundations at once. Just a huge job. And it was supposed to start in June, and then it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. We finally thought we were starting it, and this video will be about us getting into that whole process of starting a big project like this, getting to work on the first footing there. But then if you watch that video, you will see that we hit a very major snag. So check that out. So just all sorts of good stuff coming up on Stuff and Things and working. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm sure many of you have heard, and if you've been watching my content, you will definitely have heard that, I think it was in June of this year, the Scandinavian Tea Group, a very large, let me forget that for now, but a very large company that controls a lot of the blends that we know and love, that manufactures a lot of the blends that we know and love. They purchased Mac Baren. Mac Baren owns Sutliff, so through purchasing Mac Baren, they also purchased Sutliff. Now, Mac Baren is a company that had been held by the same family for, close to 200 years, but they ended up selling out. There is some background to that I'll get into in the video where I will be talking more about this information. But they unfortunately, in my opinion, sold out to STG, and everyone is wondering what is going to happen to the Mac Baren blends that we know and love, and by extension, the Sutliff blends that are under the umbrella of Mac Baren because they were owned by Mac Baren. I have some information, and I will say that it is not good information. I have actual documents that really lay out STG's plans for Mac Baren, for Sutliff, and kind of for the whole tea industry that they are a part of in the future. This information is, I guess, for people who are fans of Mac Baren and for Sutliff. It's something that you're definitely going to want to hear. The issue is, this is from an anonymous source, and I want to make sure I vet the information, even though the information that I have been given seems very, very real to me, and the documentation that I have been given seems very real. I wanted to give STG a chance to respond to the information. And so I've been going through the process of trying to contact someone at STG. Now, I'm not a reporter. I don't work for the New York Times. I'm not a journalist, but I don't want to just get this information and run with it in a video without at least trying to vet it a little bit, even though the person I got it from and the nature of the information and the documentation seems very real and very true to me. I also thought it would just be a courtesy to reach out to STG and say, hey, I've got this information. What do you think of this? Like, can you confirm or deny any of this? Just give them an opportunity to comment on it. So I have done that. I did get in touch with someone at STG, and we are trying to work out a time to actually have a conversation, a phone call. So as soon as that happens, I am going to put together this video outlining the information that I have received, outlining STG's response to this information. As soon as that video is done, it is going to supersede any other videos that I have in the queue to be live on my channel. So, you know, whether it's the Good Made Better products that is coming up this week, if I get this video done before that, it's going to go out instead of the Good Made Better products. Or it might take the place of the Cringle Flake episode. You know, I'm going to have to rearrange all this stuff. I want Cringle Flake to come out before Christmas, obviously, but we'll see. But this video is important, and I want it to be, it's kind of, the timing is important as well, because this is stuff that people want to know about right away. So rest assured, I know some things. I'm trying to confirm those things. And once this video gets done, you will know a lot more about what is going to happen with Mac Baren, with Sutliff, and what the Scandinavian tea group's plans are for several years into the future. So stay tuned. This will be updated soon. But now, gang, it is time for hashtag #AskStuffandThings. Remember, if you have a question for me and you would like it answered on the Sunday Stuff and Things, tweet at SAT Bradley with the hashtag #AskStuffandThings. Or if you are a Patreon supporter, you can go right to the front of the line. If you ask a question via Patreon, you can hit that super thanks button under this video and go right to the front of the line, or you can leave questions, comments, and feedback under my YouTube videos in the comments section. We have a comment from @Cascadian Piper on last week's Sunday Stuff and Things. To be fair, when much of the country hears trees down, so I was talking about the bomb cyclone that happened in the Pacific Northwest. It was knocking all sorts of trees down. And remember, people were like, oh, bomb cyclone, what about all the hurricanes and everything? Like, yes, I know. Like, I'm not trying to compare the bomb cyclone that happened in the Northwest to hurricanes that were happening, you know, in Carolinas and everything like that. But it's extreme weather for here, so that's why I mentioned it. Anyway, it doesn't mean the same thing as it does to us. So this is somebody, Cascadian Piper, lives in the Pacific Northwest. A tree down here, even in a neighborhood, can mean the house is totally demolished by this giant heavy thing. And yes, that is true. If a, you know, hundreds of foot tall Douglas fir with a 8-foot radius trunk falls on your house is gone. We have very big trees around here. We live away from big trees now, but our house in Linden had a row of big Doug firs about 15 feet from the house. Every windstorm made us worry. One of the many reasons we're happy being back in Bellingham. I mean, there's some big Doug firs in Bellingham too, but maybe not right downtown. But yes, good point. At Christopher Ray Baden, or Abaddon, 2311 said, reviewing products from time to time won't hurt. It might result in a sponsored episode. I'm of the same mind. I wouldn't recommend anything I wouldn't use myself. So I was just mentioning all the different companies that reach out to me asking me to review products. I just had someone recently, I mean, literally it's multiple every single day. And usually they're just ridiculous things that I have no interest in whatsoever. I think, like, what was it? It was like baby furniture was the most recent one. Like, no, I don't want baby furniture. I'm not going to review baby furniture. At Les Brady said, I think the product reviews you do are varied enough to get interest from many viewers. And if you're good with doing it that way, just what you're interested in, I am. Thank you, Les. At Tom Brown 1898 says, Bradley, I remember the time you wrote to Dan T about old Ironsides and received a detailed reply from Lady there, practically giving you the whole recipe. But that's the only one I can remember. I used to correspond with Russ O, and now he's unreachable. Dunno. STG is like Godzilla, consuming all they see. Good show today. Yeah, so I was complaining about the fact that it seems very difficult to get in touch with a lot of these companies. Since then, I have gotten in touch with some of these companies. So you will see the fruits of that labor here pretty soon. At the Hammer of Dissidence says, good to see you well, Bradley. Unrelated, but your photography on Instagram has been improving with each upload. Thank you very much, the Hammer of Dissidence, and I wanted to include that because I want to encourage you to go visit my photography-only Instagram. It is in the link. There is a link in the description box below. It is at Bradley A. Victor. It is my street photography, a little bit of wildlife, nature photography on there as well, but you should follow it because it's fun. And then finally, well, not finally, next we have some Padron 2000 natural feedback. So we did the video where it had been 8-9 years since I had had a Padron 2000. At Big Country Briar 9911 says, you have a good palate, so I'm sure you'll be teasing out all those flavors in no time. Your tasting notes are good, such as describing it as peppery. The only thing burning stick guys do is take it a step further and describe the pepper as black or red on the palate or in the retrohale. Maybe it's not peppery now and more of a spicy cinnamon, so on and on. Last time I remember you with the stick was in the backyard of your old place. Have a great Thanksgiving, B. Thank you very much. And yes, I hope everyone in the US or everyone who celebrates Thanksgiving had a good Thanksgiving. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know that I'm ever going to have enough burning sticks to get into the crazy nuances. I mean, I can taste things just as well as I can taste things in pipe teas, I guess. I'm a little leery of the, you know, if you watch people reviewing craft beer or wine or anything like that, or burning sticks, I think people get a little bit over their skis, a little smug, where they try to get as esoteric and jargony as they can to show, like, look, I really know what I'm talking about, and if you don't know these things, then you're not part of the in-group, you don't understand what we're doing here. I try to avoid that. I want things to be accessible, and I don't want to be, I don't know, pretentious about the things I review. Not that I'm saying that people who review burning sticks are pretentious, but I think there's a danger of that happening with these kinds of things, with these very specialized hobbies. At Tom Brown 1898, again, hearing from him, says, my favorite daily burning stick back around 1990 was the Indian Head Bundle. They sold for 65 cents a piece, and the flavors were very much what you were describing. Arturo Fuente Cuban Corona Natural was another favorite, also under $1. Wow. I est a lot of burning sticks in those days, then came burning stick aficionado. Burning sticks became trendy, prices went through the roof, and quality declined. Now I look at the prices, laugh, and light up a pipe. My butt felt cold and clammy watching you on that rock. Yeah, I've had several people mention that burning stick aficionado was a big detriment to the burning stick hobby because it popularized it so much, and it got to this weird point where there were sought out burning sticks, and it just jacked the prices up like crazy. I'm too young to have known what was going on with all that when I first started getting into burning sticks. And I've never really been into burning sticks, but when I first started buying them, I think the crazy inflation in prices had already happened. At Big Earn Bladesmith says, agreed. That is a great stick with an afternoon or evening coffee. Yeah, and I think the Padron 2000 with a cup of coffee, amazing. At Gerst7736 says, I've est thousands of burning sticks over the past 18 years. The Padron 2000 Natural was my first premium cigar and still one of my favorites. Great price, great flavors, and always S's perfectly. If you liked the 2000, try a Padron 1964 Hermoso Natural. You'll love it. I think I have had the 1964. I'm pretty sure I had one of those. I can't really remember what it was like, but I'm pretty sure I had one. At Les Brady, Bradley and Padron, naturally. I est a 5-year age Padron Palma, a Lancero shape. I have no idea what a Lancero shape is. I'm assuming maybe it's more pointy, like a lance. Recently, and it tasted like a milk chocolate candy bar. Aging is good. Aging for teas, burning sticks, pipe blends, good. For me, maybe not so much. All right, gang, thank you for all that feedback. Please keep it coming in. It really helps make the show go. But now it is time for the very best part of the show, and that is where we thank our Patreon supporters. Remember, if you would like to support the channels on Patreon, there is a link in the description box below, and it is much appreciated. It is pretty much the only income I get from making these videos. So if you like any of the stuff that I post on YouTube for both channels, your support will help assure that this kind of content continues. It is really, really, really important. So thank you so much, anyone who supports the channel on Patreon. We're trying to get to $105 supporters. Link in the description box below, as I mentioned. But every week we shout out those who support the channels at $25 or more a month. The producers of Stuff and Things. People like Glenn Dunnington, Jason Buckner, Arcturus, Ashes of the Phoenix, Jonathon Proctor, Charles Mowers, and the Friendly Piper. And of course, the Maniacs, the crazy people who support the channels at $100 a month, people like Bob Magee and Ryan McFadin. And we'll never forget our dearly departed friend and Hall of Fame member, Peter Straub. Remember, if you support us on Patreon, not only are you helping to keep this content going, but you do get content early and ad-free. So thank you so much for that. Gang, lots of interesting stuff coming up. This video that I'm going to be producing on the STG Sutliff Mac Baren stuff, there's some pretty crazy information that I have my hands on, and I can't wait to tell you. I'm actually kind of dreading telling you about it, and you will know why once you watch the video, but definitely stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for all the other good stuff coming up. But until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things on kind of an expedited Sunday Stuff and Things, but I'll see you later.
Give me a higher love.
Why do I have that song stuck in my head?
Give me a higher love.